Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have this look right here for you, using orange tones, a bit of a peach colour going on, a strong wing liner. It's very lovely and I also think it's very easy to create as well. I actually was hoping to use this lipstick right here, which is from Maybelline. It's in the shade Heroin, and this is what kind of inspired this look. I have this orange top on to kind of like pair together with it, and I really wanted to use this lipstick and it just looked hot pink on the lips, so the colour of the packaging really doesn't represent what it looks like on the inside. That's a bit disappointing, but I ended up going with this colour right here from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the shade Spicy. Speaking of spicy, I'm getting Nando's later, but anyway, this is the look I created. I really like it. If you would like to see how I got it, then please carry on watching. I'll show you how. Before you do, please hit the subscribe button down below. It does mean the absolute world, and I hope you enjoy. So let's see how to create this makeup look. So I'm going to start by filling in my brows, and I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade Medium Brown. So I'm just going to brush up the brows at the front and then brush them back through the tail of the brow. I never really include the brows in the video because I think they can be quite boring, but I feel like I want to include it this time. So I'm just going to start by underlining the brow right at the bottom in mini little strokes so it's not really harsh. Then just building it up and then following back through the tail. Then I'll go ahead and fill in like the top part of the brow, just going parallel to the line underneath and using a little strokes to fill it in. I feel like I want quite a bold brow today. I want to be bold today. Bold is the vibe I'm going down. So once I've done that and it looks a little bit crazy, I'm going to go ahead and just fill in the centre part of the brow. And then slowly bringing the product to the beginning of the brow, so it's a little bit softer towards the beginning. So there's hardly any product left on the brush, brushing the hairs upward. And then I'm going to take the spoolie just to brush it upward as well, and then look for any sparse areas where we've missed and then go ahead and fill those in as well, like right here. That is a very archy brow. Now the brows are on, time to carve out the brows. So to carve them out, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. This time I'm going to use the shade 1. I have 3 of these concealers and I tend to use like different shades depending on how fair I am. I don't have fake tan on my face, but I've just put some fake tan on, so I wanted to apply a slightly more like yellow toned one. So I'm just going to start by taking this synthetic brush, which is slightly angled, and then lining up underneath my brow just to carve them out. And then with the rest of the product that's on the brush, I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. And this is going to act as a primer for the shadows, as well as just to conceal any kind of like redness on the eye and all the little veins that you have on your eye. Just going to cover that up so we have a nice blank canvas to work with. Alright, now that's done, what I'm going to do is actually take my ring finger just to pat it all in, just into the skin. The warmth of the fingertips will really melt the product into the skin and make it nice and easy to work with. Otherwise it'll just be really sticky and it'll pick up all the shadows in places that you don't want it to. I'm just going to blend it out with my finger. Then to set it in place, I'm just taking the Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder in the shade Transparent and then just tapping this over the eye. The first shade I'll be going into is this one right here from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is Orange Soda, and I'll be taking this on my 228 Luxe crease brush from Zoeva. I'm just going to go into the crease of my eye using a really light motion, so right here, the really light hand just backwards and forwards into that crease. And then bringing it out towards the outer corner as well. I'm really just laying down the transition here, not being too precise. Then next in the crease, I'm going in with this shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills also. This is called Burnt Orange. And I'll be taking this into the crease of my eye using my 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush from Zoeva. Just starting with the outer kind of section of the eye, the outer V. So really working it in there and then building it inwards. Just because I want the darkest section to be on on the outer corner there. But really taking the time to blend, because this will be quite like a soft, I say soft lightly because we're using a bright orange, but because we're doing like a fairly soft eye makeup look, I want it to be really well blended. So I'm taking my time to blend here and just using different tones of colour to really make sure it looks really pretty and with a nice gradient to it. It's just like if it was a painting, just really taking the time to shade out different sections. Then I'll go back in with the brush that had the orange soda colour, just give that a little blend as well. Then to really spice up your life, spice things up a little bit, I'm taking the shade Flame Point from Sugar Pill. Then to apply that, I'll be taking my MAC 217 brush, and I'm just going to start in the outer section of the crease with fairly light motions, but I'm going to build it up till it's quite intense, bringing it to that inner corner as well. This is a thinner blending brush, so it's going to pack on the colour a little bit more. Then I'm just working it in to the outer corner here, and then every now and then I'll just go ahead and pick up a little bit more product. Really, I want it to be really smoky on the outer corner. Then to really blend it out, I'm going to take that burnt orange shade and just kind of softly go over the edges of the brighter orange with a very light hand. And then I'll go back in with that shade Orange Soda, just to further blend it out, like I'm barely touching the skin. Then I'm just going to carve the crease out a little bit. I'm not going to do it like really intensely. This is more just for a base, but I'm going to take a teeny bit of the concealer, not a lot at all, and look up, and that will imprint where we want the line to go. I'm going to follow the line across like so, make sure I'm in focus, there we go. I don't want it to go all the way over, but then I'm just going to kind of move the concealer all in that inner section. About kind of 3/4 of the way across. Then I'm going to go in with the shade right here, which is called China Rose, also from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Just going to spray my brush with a little bit of primer water. This is the Zoeva 234 Luxe Smoky Shader Brush, just to make it a little bit damp to pick up the colour. Then I'm going to apply this on the outer section of the concealer, just where it meets the orange. Then I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Fresh Peach, also from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm also going to spray this flat shader brush from Primark with a little bit of the Primark primer water. And then I'm going to apply the shadow all in that section right here. Next, I'm just going to run that orange shade under my lower lash line. Then I'm just taking a little bit of burnt orange and orange soda mixed together on the big fluffy Zoeva brush. Just going to blend that out as well as the outer corner. Now for the wing. To start off the wing, I'll be taking the Sigma liquid pen liner in the shade Wicked. I'm just going to start by applying this very lightly on my lash line, and then I will draw a wing upwards. I think I'm going to have it quite far out this time, maybe like here, and then pull it in. Yeah. I'm going to put music over this because I can't talk, otherwise I'll mess it up. Then to touch up the liner, I'll be taking a little bit of the Sigma Wicked Gel Liner. And to apply it, I'll be taking the Sigma E11 eyeliner brush as well. This is just going to touch up the line because I still want it to remain thin. And I feel like with the liquid pen liner, I'm just going to end up making a really thick line. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this gel liner on the brush. Oh, I put way too much on there. Just wipe it off on the top like so. Now the drama of the eyeliner has disappeared and we've got it out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. This is the Primark eyelash curler. It was £1.50 and I highly recommend this eyelash curler. It's so good, especially for £1.50. Then I'm going to apply some mascara. This is the Sigma Sinuosity Lash Mascara. For lashes, I'll be taking these ones right here. They're called Mythical from Girls with Attitude. So to pop these on, I've used the House of Lashes eyelash glue. I'm just going to look down into my mirror, pop them on to the middle of the eye, and then tuck in the outer corners. Then I'll just go ahead and squeeze the lashes together with my natural lashes. I wasn't even recording, so I took the Vitamin E Hydrating Mist, rubbed it, like sprayed it all over my face, and then I also sprayed the primer water from Primark onto my skin. Now I am taking the Primark Blur Primer and I'm just blending this into my skin. Starting with the centre of the face, such as the nose, where I've got like the biggest pores, then on my chin where I have quite a lot of texture, and then on my forehead where I've got a few like fine lines. This is just going to help to smooth out the skin and make the foundation go on nicer as well. For foundation, I'll be taking the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation in the shade Fawn. I'm just going to spray my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge with a bit of the Hydrating Mist from Superdrug. I did this just kind of on a whim in a previous video and I really liked how it felt on my skin, so I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to squeeze some of the foundation onto the sponge and start by working it into the skin in dabbing, pouncing, bouncing motions. Tonight me and Nick are going to see Avengers Infinity War. You are over there. He smiles and he's very excited. I'm excited as well because I love the cinema, but it's going to be so much fun, and I know there's a lot of hype around this film, it being like an important film, and he's smiling at me because I'm talking about Avengers. But yeah, if any of you have seen it, let me know what you thought in the comments, because by the time this video goes up I would have already have seen it.
No spoilers though.
But let me know if you enjoyed it, if you have seen it. So I'm just going to apply the foundation to my skin. Now to cream contour, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Mink Stick to Flawless Foundation Stick. So I'm just going to contour right under my cheekbone to kind of about where my eyebrow would meet. I don't like to take it too far inwards. Then around my temples and the tops of my forehead. And then also under my jawline, in the hopes that it will give me a jawline. I have quite a round face, so this helps to add some structure. Then also under my lips, the bottom of my nose, and then at these sides of my nose as well, just so it just doesn't disappear like into the rest of my face. Ooh, a bit of a wonky nose contour going on, but we can fix it. Are you laughing at me?
No.
Oh. Then I'm going to blend it into the skin using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. So I'm just going to blend it in using little circular motions. Now on to actually concealing. I'm taking the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Concealer in the shade Light. So I'm just going to start by applying some of this to my chin, above my lip, and an upside down triangle on my forehead. That will help just to add some brightness to the face, in between the brows, and then down the centre of the nose, and then of course under those eyes to make them look nice and bright. Then to blend it into the skin, I'm just going to spray my complexion sponge a little bit more of the Hydrating Mist, and then just pounce this into the skin. Now to add some glow to skin, I'm taking the Primark Champagne Strobing Cream. I actually really love this stuff. I've been using it like every single time I do my makeup, and it was only £2. So I'm just squeezing a teeny tiny little bit of this onto the tip of my beauty sponge. I'm just going to squeeze it together and then dab it on the higher points of my cheekbone. Just going to blend this into the skin in little bouncing motions. For highlighter, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Reezy collab. This is their highlighter. As you can see, it's super blinding and beautiful. Then I'm going to apply this using my Zoeva 134 powder fusion brush. Just going to spray this a little bit with the primer water just to make it a little bit damp. Just because this picks up the highlighter better, makes it more intense and stops it looking powdery and cakey. I'm just going to go into the highlighter with a generous amount, just a lot, like a lot. And then we're just going to apply that in packing motions to start off with, just to really pack it on top of the strobing cream. And then once there's quite a heavy amount on there, then I will kind of go back and forth. I used to kind of start my highlighter here, but that made no point because that's not the highest point of your cheekbone. It's really like here, and then you want it to be like there. Like if you tilt your head back, take a selfie, it's popping in the light. We just want to blend it back towards the temple with really soft blending motions. I really like this brush for highlight because you can hold it really close to the brush and get a really intense one, or hold it further back and blend it out. Then while we're at it, I'm going to apply a little bit of that to my Cupid's bow, also to the tip of my nose, and then a little bit just above the brows, just because it adds some light to the face as well. Then we need to set the foundation and concealer into place. So I'm taking up my trusty Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder, in it the shade Transparent. I use this in every video and I don't think I'll ever feel the need to try a different pressed powder, and it's only £4, so it's amazing. I'm just going to pounce this into my skin just to set everything in place, especially around my chin area because that's where my makeup tends to disappear the most. But we're also avoiding directly on top of that highlight because you don't really want to dull it down. We want it to stay nice and intense. So back to the face. So I'm going to start off by taking this shade here, which is called Havana. It's like the warmer colour in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Light Contour Kit. I decided to use my Anastasia one again just because I want a little bit of an Anastasia vibe right here. So after tapping off the excess, I'm just going to pin my hair back and start contouring. I'm going in with quite a light hand because, as you can see, this is quite an intense contour. I'm just going to build it up on top of where I put the cream contour earlier. And then whatever's left on the brush, I like to run under my jawline as well, just to make it look a little bit more structured. Under my lip, and then down the sides of my nose as well. Then, just because I'm feeling a bit extra, I'm going to go in with whatever's left of this banana shade. I'm having to like literally dab right in the corners, and then I'm going to mix it with a little bit of vanilla. Tap off the excess and then just apply this right underneath my eyes. This is going to act as another like brightening method. I used to call it like my beautifying powder. I feel like it would just make my skin look so nice, but I always forget to do it because it's one of those extra steps. It's not necessary. So yeah, I'm just applying that under my eyes, a little bit to my chin, and then in between the middle of my forehead. Then to bronze up the skin, I'm going in with the NYX Medium Matte Body Bronzer, and I'm going to bronze up the face using the Zoeva 126 Luxe Cheek Finish brush. I'm just going to go into the bronzer, tap off the excess, and then get to work bronzing up my face, just starting with the outer section of the cheek and then building upwards towards the hairline and the outer section of my forehead. And then I'm also just going to dab it on the back of my hand to get rid of the excess, and then just go across my cheeks just here where the sun would naturally like add some freckles to, just to make me look a little bit more sun-kissed. Then for blush, I'm going to go in with this orangey pinky corally shade right here, which is called, I think it is called Chantilly, I don't know. I'm going to go in with this one right here on my Primark blush brush. I'm just going to go into it very lightly because it's a very intense blush, and then just apply a little bit of this to the apples of my cheeks, and this is going to really complement those eyes. Then I'm going to set everything into place using the Revolution Pro Fix Makeup Fixing Spray. I really like this. I think it's really, really good. So I'm going to give it a good old shake and spray this on. I am also going out to a bar after the cinema and for Nando's, so I kind of want my makeup to last. So I'm just going to give that a fan and just make sure it's really set in place. I'm just using my contour kit to kind of help fan it dry. That's not working. That is not working. I'm going to use my hands. There we go. Right, well that's still slightly wet. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that highlight because you can never have enough highlight on your cheek. Then I'm going to take a shimmery eye pencil. This is from the Highlighting Duo Pencil from Anastasia. I'm going to use the side which is called Sand Shimmer. So I'm just going to go into my inner corner to really brighten up that area. Then I'll go in with the Amrezy highlighter over the top of it. I'm also going to apply a little bit of that to my brow bone as well. Then the brush we used earlier, that big fluffy Zoeva one, I'm just going to use to blend out the highlight shade. Back to the eyes, I'm going to apply a little bit of that Wicked gel liner with the eyeliner brush to the upper waterline. Now I'm just going to apply some mascara to my lower lashes before I forget, as always. Okay, so while the mascara dries before I go ahead and fix up any kind of dabs where it's gone, that made no sense, any little dots where the mascara is transferred, I'm going to set my brows in place using the Chocolate Brow Gel from Anastasia. This is just going to help to get rid of any powder residue that's gone onto the brows and also make the hairs go where I want them. So I'm starting with the tail kind of section of the brow and then moving to the forward part, like what's that called? Like here, the head of the brow? I don't know. But just this bit here, I'm going to brush upwards and the rest to go back. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the lips. I'm going to be taking a super bright liquid lipstick. This is Maybelline's liquid lipstick in the shade Heroin. It's like the brightest orangey red you've ever seen. Like it almost looks red on camera, but it is like a neon orange. I don't have an orange lip liner, but I do have a red one now from Barry M. This is just in the shade Red. So I'm going to go ahead and outline my lips. I feel like red lip liner is always a struggle because red and black are the two hardest colours to work with. So that was like a tense moment. But now I'm going to go in with the liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Heroin from Maybelline. The applicator on these are like on these liquid lipsticks is a little bit strange. It's kind of like a doe foot applicator, but then it's got a hole in the middle so the product doesn't come out properly. So you do have to go ahead and like put the like spatula doe foot thing back in the bottle a few times, but the liquid lipsticks themselves are actually really good. So when I'm applying this now, it looks more of a pink. These lipsticks are very strange, like the colour of this does not reflect this. This is not what I had in mind. So it is a little bit of time. Am I recording? Yeah, I'm recording. It's a little bit of time later and I have taken off the pink lipstick, well, the middle of it, with a little cotton pad and some toner. I didn't have any makeup wipes because the lipstick just didn't look the colour I wanted it to. It looks like this bright orange colour which kind of matches my top, which is the vibe I was going for. So I'm going to switch it up with this lipstick here. This is called Spicy from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have used this once before on my channel, but it was a slightly different makeup look, so I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this and fix up this weird lipstick situation. So that's the colour I wanted. Okay, that's definitely better. Oh. So this is the finished makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. As you can see, it kind of went down a different vibe to what I had planned. Like this is the look I envisioned, but I wanted to use this lipstick right here and the colour did not look like how it looks in the bottle, so that's very strange. But yeah, I really like this makeup look. I think it's really glowy. It goes with my top and I'm going to the cinema and I'm going to feel all glamorous and I'm going to a bar. So it works for lots of occasions. But if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. It really does mean the absolute world. Leave a comment below letting me know if you like this makeup look and I shall see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have this look right here for you. It's like a goldy, greeny, bronzy, metallic eye. There's a lot going on in it, but it does look a lot